Hi there, this is Ron Hagen, and I'm with Commercial Fleet, and we're at the Walcott, Iowa 80 truck show in July of 2010, talking with Bruce Malinson of Pittsburgh Power. And Bruce is going to talk to us about the Pittsburgh Power Box mounted on this particular engine. Bruce, what do you got your hand on, and what engine does it fit? And tell me everything there is to know about this.
Hello, Ron. For 32 years, we've been building high-performance diesel engines. We do Cummins, Cat, Detroit. We do a little bit of Mack work and a little bit of Volvo, but mostly Cummins, Cat, Detroit. Our Pittsburgh Power Box, we call this the Cat Box, has 7 power settings. You have a dial here on this remote control, it goes right on your dash. We had a little rain last night, so it's wet. But anyway, it tells you the exhaust gas temperature and the turbo boost. And you can start out on 0. So if you have a 550 Cat, you're a 550. If you put it on power level 1, you're now a 580. If you put it on power level 2, you're a 610. Power level 3, you're a 640. The average owner-operator usually runs on power level 3, so they're adding about 90 to 100 horsepower and upwards to 250 to 300 foot-pounds of torque. Each setting is between 75 and 100 foot-pounds of torque. And we turn on at 2 pounds of turbo boost. So if you're going into a scale house and you're concerned about a smoke check, we do not turn on. If you're at an idle, the Pittsburgh Power Box is not adding any additional power. It's very easy to install. You have one plug here on the valve cover. On the A-Cert, the twin turbo Cat, you have 2 of them. And you also plug into the turbo boost sensor. If you ever have to remove it, it takes you about 10 minutes. It's $2,395. You can install it at home in your driveway.
So it's not a particularly difficult piece to install. You just have to tie into the sensors that are already on your engine.
Right, you're tying into 2 sensors. Caterpillar gives us this stud here for the ground wire, and you have to find a hot wire. Hot wire either on your ignition switch or in your fuse box.
Now typically that the power box will sit in the cab itself. You can mount it, I guess, anywhere, but
power box has to be in the cab.
In the cab.
It is not waterproof. So you put
and
it in your glove box. You can put it in the floor in front of the shifter, any place like that. And the remote's held on with industrial Velcro. And
that can go just anywhere where it's convenient to use.
Right.
Now I've heard that you want to mount it so that you can see the lights and see what's going on if we just to check it.
We have a master on-off switch here in case you ever need to turn it off.
Okay.
Nobody ever does. We have 6 lights that blink as you're making power.
Okay.
And when these 6 lights blink in the firing order, they're letting you know that you're getting fuel to each injector.
Okay.
Fuel mileage improvements. The heavier the load, the better the fuel mileage improvements. Guys that are heavy haul, 140,000 pounds and up, generally see about a mile to the gallon. But keep in mind, a lot of those guys are down in the high 3s.
Sure.
So we take them to the high 4s.
Sure.
Now a guy that's running in the mid 5s and mid 6s, he usually sees about 3/10 miles per gallon improvement. But he sees a lot of response. And the A-Cert Cats that came out in 2004 were very dead, hardly any throttle response. And being we turn on a 2 pound of boost, we have a lot of throttle response. So it makes the truck much easier to drive. It's easier on the drivetrain, easier on the drive tires. You push less on the pedal to make the truck go.
So it's easier to drive. It certainly gets you out of the hole if you're a heavy hauler, and it'll get you better mileage. What more could you want?
And the power, and it makes it a pleasure to drive. It'll make you, if you hate your truck, it'll make you love your truck.
Well, that's cool. $23.95 for most of the Cats. We just get into a different pricing on Cummins because of wiring harnesses, I think. But
right.
We'll talk about Cummins a little bit later. Sensors, okay.
But we've been producing this for 11 years now.
What kind of warranties on there?
We replaced one that was just shy of 2 million mile warranty. It was our 3rd Cat box that we ever built. The client runs from Seattle hauling apples to New York City and back. He and his wife drive, and it's in a Pete. And we warrantied it just under 2 million miles.
Now, is it true that you got a 30-day, we don't care, we'll send it back warranty if you don't like it, and you haven't gotten any back yet?
The only time you get them back is if a person doesn't really have the money and if their bill's coming due in their credit card. We're going to put that down to about a week.
Okay.
You know that...
All right, Courtney, we're going to cut that shit. Go ahead.
Whenever you leave the clutch out the first time and you touch the throttle, usually you can see the smile on the owner-operator's face. And you know that he feels the difference in your improvements.
You don't have to have the truck on a dyno to be able to tell that you have done something of a major nature.
Absolutely not.
You'll feel it.
You'll know at the moment you let the clutch out and roll into the throttle. First thing you'll feel is the response. Our driveway is slightly downhill to the street, and people feel it going downhill.
Wow.
A lot of people say if I had to give up my firebox, I'd give up trucking.
Well, all right. Anything else good that we need to know about this?
Maybe they can go on a website or read about it.
Well, we're going to see you on YouTube, even though you didn't know you were there, but you are. All over the world, and we get hits from Tokyo, and we get hits from China, we get hits from New Zealand, we get hits from Australia.
It's the only product of its kind. It's the only product available in the world that interfaces with the ECM. You stay with the factory ECM.
All right, so you don't have to change the ECM settings or any of that?
And the ECM doesn't know that we're on here.
Okay.
We're taking the signal. It's legal, actually legal. They say it's illegal whenever you go in and you tamper with ECM, so we don't.
Yeah.
But
and it does not leave a footprint.
Doesn't leave a footprint. We take the signal after it leaves the ECM. We return a stock signal, and we don't have failures. You know, these engines have steel top pistons. They can take tremendous amount of heat and tremendous amount of power. And if an average guy is adding only a 90 or 100 horsepower, and you're at 550 and you're going to run it at 650, it never hurts.
So basically, we're adding a little bit more fuel, which in turn adds a little bit of boost.
Right. On some, like the Cat's newest, the A-Cert with the DPF, we actually have to go in and adjust the timing also on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On the older ones, the 6NZ's down, the 1995 through 2002, we don't have to touch it.
Okay. You're good.
Great engine and a great product on the engine.
Well, I know we sell a lot of them, so.